let's go here. He just had general thoughts on the Bengals, and then we're going to get into some player talk in like 2 more clips. General thoughts on the Bengals, Dan Quinn. We got them dudes next. What you think about them?
2 pretty pissed off teams, so it should make for some fun as we're going through it. And my early impressions, I saw how talented, obviously, the quarterback was. Just throw for 70%, this many touchdowns, this many yards. I think Chase, and his ability, his run after the catch, his strength, the catching radius, that speaks for itself. And Boyd's, inside in the slot, and Higgins the size to go. So all those from the passing weapon side, I felt like we were just talking about that last week. So that's kind of the fun part, and a good, strong runner with Mixon to go. So scheme-wise, it's different from what they've had. They've, don't do the same things as Tampa, but from a skill standpoint, I would say there's a lot of carryover from the stylistic of, players and how they can feature guys like that.
Scheme-wise, it's different. Players look similar, though. That's kind of what we were saying earlier, Master William. We was alluding to the idea that, they're probably not going to go the, run the ball down your throat route. They're probably going to try to hit you deep a little bit more. They're probably going to try to take advantage of your corners there. But if there's anything, sure, go ahead.
If it's working, I mean, Mixon got 27 carries last week.
Sure. And I think if there's any way I think we have the advantage, I think it'll be, and this sounds weird again, but it'll be them passing the football. You know what I mean? I think if they really get Mixon going, I think that'll be the advantage to them. Now they got T. Higgins is in the protocol, so we don't know if he's going to play or not, but he has time to get back. I don't know. We'll see. But Ja'Marr Chase, Tyler Boyd, them dudes will try your corners, and Joe Burrow will try your corners. And that's an advantage and a disadvantage, right? Because when you're going against Tampa Bay, they do more of the shorter passing, the timing stuff, and then they'll try to hit you deep when you're caught sleeping. I think a lot of Joe Burrow's sacks last week came from him trying to hit you downfield. Right. So it can be dangerous, but that can give you opportunities to get pass rush because they will work themselves into cover sacks. Now, where they can try to counteract that if the deep ball isn't working, they can just get the ball to Ja'Marr Chase short and just make you try to tackle him. Diggs had a rough day tackling people, you know what I mean? So if that's going to be the case, then we'll see. We'll talk about that whenever we get there. But I do think if we have any advantages, it'll be to try to make them hold on to the football so we can hunt again. So we don't want to give up deep passes, but we want them to attempt deep passes. Now, this is Dan Quinn talking about the amount of deep passes that we gave up versus Tampa Bay. Oh, Voch Lombardi curating this shit. Here we go.
I guess I agree and disagree with you sometimes. I thought these guys are pretty good. And so I think we had 4 explosive passes. The first one was on a screen, but one came on a 2-minute to Julio. That was a good ball. But there was also, they took plenty of deep shots, that I thought, guys stood up. I saw there was good play on Diggs, had 2 or 3 of them to his side. So at the end of it, I know that's important, but we are going to play aggressive. That's part of our style and how we play. Only leaving the game with 1 takeaway didn't make me happy, but it was a hell of a play by Donovan Wilson. So I was actually, to be honest with you, more concerned that they let up some of the run yards and losing out than I was on some of the explosive passes. Sorry to mess your story up.
Now, Will, I thought that was interesting. Dan say, hey, try the deep shit. We're aggressive. We're going to play aggressive. You know what I mean? Try your deep shots. It's going to turn into shooting dice in the bathroom, right? If you go for deep, I feel good about my pass rushes. I feel good about us trying to get turnovers. I feel good about us, shooting that shot in the backfield to try to get interceptions and things like that. If you get a deep pass, fine. Hopefully we're not just trying to give up touchdowns or whatever, but at least we'll live to fight another day with our with the type of defense that we're playing, which is we're coming after you, we're trying to hit you, we're trying to sack you, and we're trying to take the football away. I thought that was interesting, Will. Still, did you have thoughts on that?
I mean, just in general, the deep stuff, Joe Burrow and Tom Brady couldn't be more opposite in regards to this approach. Tom got the ball off in 2.19 seconds last week. It's almost impossible to sack him unless you're in a favorable 3rd down situation. And I saw the same thing on film. As you, they're going to push the ball deep, and not just with, Joe throwing it deep, but with their routes. If you watch a lot of their routes, some of their in-breaking routes are 15, 20 yards downfield, which means it's going to take time. Joe Burrow ranked 17th last week in getting the ball out from the snap. So, yeah, that's why Dan feels good. Please push the route tree down, do it. Because Joe's going to hold the rock, and much like Justin Herbert, he has this arrogance about him, which is a good, right? You need to have that arrogance when you have that arm. He's going to try to fit it in there. You're going to get your opportunities. Tom is not going to do that to you often. Joe will. Hence 4 interceptions. Granted, one of them wasn't really his fault. It was kind of a sack. But nonetheless, yeah, man, please push it. That's best for us.
Will Steele, the synergy that me and you have right now tag teaming on this topic is just, can we get flames in the chat box, please? Can we get flames in the chat box, please? Please. Both of us watched the film. Both of us saw the same thing.
Yep.
So sure, if you're going to go downfield, that gives us an opportunity to get guys on you that will run into coverage sacks. Now, I just want to stop and look at the Bengals offensive line for a quick second. First and foremost, I do think there was this narrative on social media that La'el Collins is trash. I do think that was an incorrect narrative that was trying to be pushed.
You're being nice. I thought he rolled out there with one hip and gave up all 7 of those sacks, Voch. I did.
Yeah. To be fair, he was lined up against TJ Watt, and TJ Watt will do TJ Watt things. But when I look at that makes me feel good about our chances versus that offensive line. Will Still, because their offensive line ain't great, and I've been trying to say for a long time. I'm not giving me credit here. I've been trying to say for a long time, offensive linemen simply don't grow on trees. Alex Kappa at right guard is fine, but boy, they got a left guard. Will Still, they left guard and they center. Oh my goodness!
The left tackle, Jonah, I think his name is Jonah Williams, was getting worked.
Jonah Williams, formerly of Alabama, Jonah Williams. The center, Ted Karras. Anybody ever heard of fucking Ted Karras? Ever heard of him? And the left guard, Cordell Volson. I actually remember him in the draft process. Oh, Jackson Carman is on the bench. He's trash too. So even if he did play, he getting his ass whooped too. So in my mind, Will Still, if you can take advantage of any of those dudes, then do so. Now, Jonah Williams kind of been whacked since he's been in the league, but Bengals fans will have you believe that, hey, if the rest of the line gets a little better, then Jonah Williams will have a better time. I think the better the talent you put against Jonah Williams, the worse it's going to get for him. And we just happen to have dudes that's talented. So Jonah Williams is a below average left tackle. Left guard is terrible. The center is always in the right place, but he always get moved around, right? So him being in the right place don't mean nothing to me. Alex Kappa is fine. And La'el Collins, if you have a TJ Watt, you can take advantage of him. We have a Michael Parsons. We have a DeMarcus Lawrence. I feel good about us attacking these dudes. Will Still. So if there's any way to attack this Bengals O-line, it'll be attacking just like we did with Tampa Bay. A good old game of find the scrub. If Donovan Smith goes out for a play and Michael Parsons just beat him and his elbow goes ouch, and they put some left tackle out there, and just leave Mike on that side and let him do it again. And he do it again. You know what I'm saying? Let's go pick on this left guard that's trash. Let's got to stay away from Wirfs or whatever. We're going to do the same thing versus the Bengals. And that just lets you know where offensive line is in the league. This team that just went to the Super Bowl last year, and they did a offensive line reconstruction. Will Still, they still kind of whack on the offensive line. So if we got a chance, it'll be against these dudes. And I just don't want to see what they look like getting the run game going. I'm trying to stop this run, and I'm trying to get after their ass. I know it sounds kind of repetitive, like just like what we said last week. But shit, if we gonna win, that's the plan.